I do wonder if there is some issues with Bruce Arians. I really do. I have to question if, and it's not because of the reports necessarily, but it's just like what led to such a sudden decision from a guy who's been so committed to the NFL and he's playing at the highest level that he's probably played in his entire career after 22 seasons, and he just retires after a few days after losing a very, very close game that he brought his team back down 27-3. He brought them back, and then a broken defensive play. That just doesn't seem like the type of situation that someone of Brady's caliber can walk away. It just doesn't.
And speaking of the Bruce Arians stuff you just talked about, we're going to talk about that here. Now, this is from Rich Orenberger. Now, Jeremy mentioned a Patrick Mahomes story. There was a big false story that went around surrounding Patrick Mahomes. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But Rich Orenberger put this out. Heard some interesting things recently. The Tom Brady and Bruce Arians honeymoon was over in Tampa. The retirement announcement wasn't because of the trouble seen eye to eye on the offensive game planning, but the relationship was souring. Apparently, while Arians was rehabbing the Achilles in the early mornings, offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich and Brady would work on the week's game plan. Arians would later come in and take the red pen to the work they'd done. The quarterback and offensive coordinator felt undermined, and there was tension. He followed that up yesterday evening. Tampa Bay Buccaneers handled 3-time NFL MVP, 7-time Super Bowl champ Tom Brady. Offensive coordinator and Byron Leftwich and Tom Brady were reportedly responsible for the entirety of the offensive game plan. Per my earlier report, head coach Bruce Arians would at times take red pen to that offensive plan, figuratively speaking. There were apparently major disagreements between Leftwich and Brady on strategy, especially regarding the run game. At a certain point, Brady successfully seized control of the offensive game plan, adjusting play calls he didn't believe would work. Additionally, there was a feeling of resentment inside the building toward Arians. While others worked around the clock in Tampa to build a winner, head football coach had a much lighter work schedule per multiple impregnable sources. And of course, the reason he's saying that is because, again, there were some fake reports, which Rich was, involved with surrounding Patrick Mahomes. That's why he's putting this out here like this now. Mm-hmm. John, what's your reaction to this Bruce Arians, Tom Brady drama?
Wow, this is going to be a monster story, I believe, for quite a while. And apparently, if you go to Rich Hornberg's Twitter account again, I believe there's some stuff that Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich now are beefing with each other now too. I think that's on there, but I'm not really sure. Rhodes had told me that, but man, this whole Tom Brady retiring within a week of the Super Bowl definitely starting to lead me to believe that he really doesn't want to be in Tampa Bay anymore. He still wants to play. He's kind of changed his tune. He's like, never say never. Tampa Bay can actually release him June 1st. And I wouldn't be surprised then if Tom Brady actually made a comeback with a new team. Well, I'm starting to buy into some of this stuff that's been said now.
I mean, you can't deny that looks like that looks right there. And that just does.
I don't
man.
like it.
I think nah, dude. Him being a lifelong 49er fan, being a Joe Montana fan, the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo's overrated ass is the quarterback there, it's a perfect scenario. Go take Jimmy G's job, run him out of town, come in there. That team is built for a Super Bowl right now. They're a quarterback away. You come over there, you get Gronk to sign over there. Boom. You got it right there. Just bring Gronk in. Gronk will be, the guy that plays off, plays like couple of plays a game because obviously they don't need him to start or anything. I'm telling you,
they got George Kittle, so yeah.
So they don't need Gronk in there, consistently. That right there. That's it. He's going to the 49ers. If he comes back, that's where he's going, in my opinion. It's the perfect fit. And that team is the most Super Bowl ready team in the NFL without a good quarterback. And yes, Jimmy Garoppolo is overrated as hell.
Yep. 70% chance Tom Brady plays next season, I believe. 70%.
I think there's just so much surrounding it. The fact that, that Schefter leaked early the retirement, which maybe made him forced into feeling like he needed to make the announcement so that he wouldn't be a problem all through Super Bowl week and all that stuff.
Yeah.
there's a lot of reasons to assume that Tom Brady's not ready to retire, both on and off the field.
But what if he actually came out and said, "Man, I'm so pissed off at Bruce Arians. Man, I want out of here. I'm going to retire."
That's not his style.
It's not him.
I don't see him doing that because that's not his style. But here's what's weird. So Brady just seemed like he loved everything with Tampa, the laid back atmosphere. It was so much different from New England. So I think that there runs the risk of if there is an issue with Bruce Arians and then there was the issue with Bill Belichick.
Yes.
I think that Brady runs the risk of coming off as LeBron, a coach killer, a diva that can't be managed, obviously it's different.
Like
LeBron
Aaron Rodgers, like Aaron, because some of the same things we've been talking about with Aaron Rodgers, it's because Aaron Rodgers makes it fucking public. It's because Aaron Rodgers publicly, says, "Oh, they're not giving me enough. Oh, I have problems with this. I have problems with that." That the fucking passive aggressive bullshit that he does. Tom Brady's never done that. Tom Brady is always, to your point, Jeremy, being the guy who, regardless of whatever's going on behind the scenes, he says the right thing publicly.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons that he is the greatest of all time.
Yes.
Because he's been able to do that. And, even with building tension, not let it affect the rest of the team, not let it affect the media stuff, and just take that all on himself and deal with it internally.
Mm-hmm.
Rich Ohrnberger played with the Patriots. Tom Brady has touched Rich Ohrnberger's asshole, taking snaps from him. Okay. So these guys are pretty close. I don't know where Rich is getting this information.
You didn't have to go that much into detail.
I'm just saying. That's how close these men are. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But everybody is going to want to pay attention to what happens with Tom Brady, no doubt.